My child, stop for a moment. Do not scroll past this. Do not let this second slip away like so many others. I am speaking to you now because I have been eagerly waiting for you. Not watching from a distance. Not with crossed arms or disappointment. I have been waiting with open hands and a steady heart, knowing the exact moment you would finally pause long enough to hear my voice. This moment is not random. You didn't arrive here by chance. I called you here because your soul has been searching, even if your mind hasn't known what it was looking for. I know how tired you are. I know how loud the world has been, how many times you told yourself you would come back to me later. Later when things calmed down. Later when you felt worthy. Later when you had answers. But listen to me now. Later is not where healing begins. It begins here. It begins now. And that is why I asked you to stop. That is why I waited. Because I knew your heart would eventually grow weary of carrying everything alone. I have watched you try to stay strong when no one noticed. I have seen the silent prayers you didn't think mattered anymore. I have counted every tear you bright away quickly so no one would ask questions. And through it all, I never looked away. I never moved on. I never replaced you. I waited, not because I was distant, but because love is patient, and I love you more deeply than you understand. Do not rush past this moment. Let my words settle. Let them reach the places you've kept guarded. There is something I want to restore in you, something that can only happen if you stay with me here. This is not just another message. This is an invitation, a turning point, a gentle but urgent call back into alignment with me. If these words are touching your heart, don't keep them to yourself. Like this message as a sign that you are receiving what I am speaking. Comment so you remember this moment when doubt tries to return. Share this with 3 people who are also tired of running, tired of pretending they're fine, tired of feeling far from me. Hype this message so others don't miss what I am doing right now. And subscribe, not out of habit, but as a declaration that you want to keep hearing my voice when the world grows loud again. I am not here to shame you. I am not here to rush you. I am here to remind you who you belong to. I have been eagerly waiting for you, not for a better version of you, not for a stronger or more faithful version, but for you as you are right now. Stay with me. Listen closely. What I am about to reveal will change how you see this season and how you see yourself. My child, I need you to know this before anything else settles in your heart. I see you. Not the version you show the world, not the one you try to explain away, but the real you. The one who lies awake with thoughts that won't quiet. The one who wonders how things became so heavy. The one who still hopes even when hope feels fragile. I have never been confused about where you are or what you've been carrying. I have seen the moments you felt overlooked, when it seemed like everyone else was moving forward and you were standing still. I noticed when you kept showing up for others while quietly emptying yourself. I saw the courage it took just to get through ordinary days when your heart felt anything but ordinary. You didn't imagine that weight. You didn't exaggerate that pain. I was there in every second of it. There were times you questioned whether I still heard you. Times when silence felt like distance. Times when you wondered if you waited too long, drifted too far, or failed too often. Listen to me carefully now. None of that disqualified you. Your struggle did not surprise me. Your weakness did not repel me. Your questions did not offend me. They drew my attention even closer. I know the season you're in. I know what you lost, what changed, and what never became what you prayed it would be. I know the disappointment you tried to make peace with and the expectations you quietly buried. I know the moments you almost reached out, almost surrendered, almost trusted again, but fear pulled you back. I was there too. Patient, steady, present. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not an afterthought. You are not standing in my shadow wondering if you still belong. You belong because I chose you, and my choice did not expire when life became complicated. Even when you felt unsure of me, I was never unsure of you. I recognize your endurance. I recognize the strength it took to keep going when you felt unseen. I recognize the longing in your heart that no distraction could fully quiet. That longing is not weakness. It is evidence that you were made for closeness with me. It is the echo of my voice calling you home long before you realized you were listening again. You don't have to perform to be recognized by me. You don't have to explain your past or defend your pace. I know your story better than you do, and I am not intimidated by any chapter of it. I am not measuring you against anyone else. I am meeting you exactly where you are. So breathe. Let your shoulders relax. You are not standing before me unnoticed or unknown. You are standing before me seen, understood, and deeply loved. And now that you know I recognize you, now that you know you were never invisible to me, you can begin to listen without fear. What comes next is not about proving yourself. It is about coming closer. My child, hear this truth slowly, because it changes everything you thought my waiting meant. I was not standing still while you were struggling. I was not watching the clock, disappointed or distant. My waiting was intentional. It was full of purpose. Every moment you thought I was silent, I was working beneath the surface, shaping what you could not yet see, preparing you for what your heart was not ready to carry before now. You assumed my waiting meant hesitation. You believed it meant you had done something wrong, that you missed your chance, that you delayed me. But I am not bound by your timing, and I am not threatened by your questions. I waited because love knows when to speak and when to let growth happen quietly. I waited because rushing you would have broken you. I waited because what I am building in you requires roots before fruit. There is a lie I need to remove gently, but firmly. The lie says my love pulls away when you struggle. The lie says distance disqualifies you. The lie says silence equals abandonment. That lie did not come from me. My love does not withdraw. My presence does not fade. Even when you turned inward, even when you grew tired of hoping, I remained close, guarding what was forming inside you. I was not keeping blessings from you. I was keeping you from being crushed by them before you were strengthened. I was teaching your heart to listen, to discern, to lean. Some things only grow in hidden seasons. Some answers only come when the noise quiets. My waiting was not punishment. It was protection. You see delay as loss, but I see it as alignment. You see unanswered prayers, but I see timing unfolding with precision. I am not slow. I am intentional. And now that you are here, now that your heart is open instead of hurried, you can begin to understand what my waiting produced in you. Depth, humility, discernment, and a hunger for me that nothing else could satisfy. I am revealing this to free you from regret. You did not waste time. You were being prepared. You were being softened. You were being drawn back, not by force but by truth. And now that you see my waiting clearly, you can stop punishing yourself for seasons I already redeemed. My child, hear me in this moment. When you choose to support this work through Super Thanks membership, with a PayPal link in the description and QR code, you are sowing seed into souls who are still wandering, still searching, still waiting to hear my voice. I am the one who said that seed planted in good soil multiplies, and I declare that your giving becomes light in dark places and water to thirsty hearts. I am inviting you now. This is your moment to respond. Do not delay what I am stirring. Let your obedience become a harvest for others. I bless every seed you release, and I command you to act now. My child, because I love you, I will speak to you with honesty and care. Love does not ignore what harms the heart. Love does not pretend wounds heal on their own. And love does not stay silent when a gentle correction can lead you back to peace. So listen to me now, not as a rebuke, but as a father guiding you away from what has been quietly draining you. There were moments you leaned too heavily on your own understanding. You tried to manage your pain alone, to reason your way through what required trust. I saw you replay conversations, decisions, and mistakes, hoping control would bring clarity. But control was never meant to be your refuge. It only made your shoulders heavier and your nights longer. I am not asking you to feel ashamed of that. I'm asking you to release it. There were also times you allowed distraction to replace intimacy with me. Not because you stopped loving me, but because staying busy felt safer than sitting still with unanswered questions. You filled the quiet with noise, the waiting with activity, the ache with temporary comfort. Yet even those distractions could not quiet the deeper longing in you. That longing was my voice, calling you back to stillness. I need you to understand this clearly. Independence has limits. Strength without surrender becomes exhaustion. Faith cannot grow where pride quietly blocks the doorway. I am not pointing this out to accuse you, but to free you. What you have been carrying was never meant to be carried alone, and what you have been resisting is the very thing that will bring you rest. You also learned to guard your heart so tightly that even I felt distant to you. You told yourself it was wisdom, that protecting yourself would prevent more pain. But walls that keep her out also keep healing from coming in. I am gentle with your guarded places, but I will not leave you trapped behind them. I want you healed, not just protected. Correction is not rejection. When I guide you away from fear, self-reliance, or distraction, it is because I see where those paths lead. I see the fatigue, the confusion, the quiet emptiness they produce. And I love you too much to let you keep walking in circles when I have already prepared a way forward. So let me redirect you. Let me teach you again how to trust without needing all the answers. Let me show you how surrender does not make you weak but steady. You do not need to defend yourself before me. You do not need to justify your pace. All I am asking is that you loosen your grip and let me lead. This correction is proof of closeness. It is evidence that you are not distant from me but near enough to be guided. Stay open. Stay willing. What I am correcting now is making room for something better to grow. My child, now that your heart has been realigned, I want you to feel this truth settle deep within you. You are not weak for feeling tired, and you are not failing because you needed rest. The strength you have been searching for was never meant to come from pushing harder. It comes from allowing me to steady you when you feel worn down. And I am here now, closer than you think. I know there were days you wondered how much more you could endure. Days when simply getting up felt like an act of courage. You questioned your resilience, your faith, even your purpose. But hear me clearly. You endured more than you give yourself credit for. You are still here because I sustained you in ways you didn't notice at the time. When you felt empty, I carried you. When you felt unsure, I anchored you. When you felt alone, I stayed. Nothing about you is broken beyond repair. Nothing about your journey disqualifies you from strength. The pauses, the missteps, the moments of doubt did not erase the resilience I placed inside you. They refined it. Strength is not loud. It is not always visible. Sometimes it looks like choosing to keep your heart open after disappointment. Sometimes it looks like trusting again after silence. And sometimes it looks like resting without guilt. I am restoring what you thought was lost. The confidence you misplaced. The peace that felt fragile. The hope you guarded carefully. I am breathing new life into those places, not by rushing the process, but by rebuilding you from the inside out. You do not need to compare your pace to anyone else's. You are exactly where you need to be for what I am forming in you now. Let my presence be your strength. Let my words steady your thoughts when anxiety tries to return. You do not have to rehearse worst-case scenarios anymore. You do not have to prepare for disappointment as a form of protection. I am teaching you to stand firm without bracing for impact. I am teaching you to trust that I will meet you in what comes next. You are not alone in this season. Even when progress feels quiet, it is still progress. Even when answers feel slow, they are still unfolding. I am walking with you, step by step, restoring endurance where fatigue once lived. And as you lean into me, you will notice something shift, not all at once, but steadily. Your breath will feel lighter. Your thoughts will grow calmer. Your heart will remember how to hope again. Take strength from this moment, not because everything is resolved, but because you are no longer carrying it alone. I am with you, and I will continue to be. My child, let me speak to you now with clarity and certainty, because promises from me are not wishes or possibilities. They are truth already in motion. I know you have learned to be cautious with hope. I know you have protected your heart by expecting less so disappointment would hurt less. But listen carefully, what I promise you does not rest on circumstances, feelings, or timelines. It rests on who I am, and I do not change. I promise you that I am guiding you, even when you cannot see the full path. You are not wandering. You are not guessing your way forward. Every step you take is known to me before you take it. When confusion rises, I will steady your thoughts. When decisions feel overwhelming, I will give you wisdom that brings peace instead of pressure. You will not miss what is meant for you when you walk with me. I promise you that nothing you endured was meaningless. The waiting refined you. The silence strengthened your discernment. The struggle deepened your dependence on me. What felt like delay was preparation, and what felt like loss is being reshaped into purpose. I redeem seasons, not by erasing them, but by transforming what they produced in you. You are not behind. You are becoming. I promise you rest, not just physical rest, but rest for your mind and heart. You no longer have to carry the weight of predicting outcomes or guarding yourself against every possible disappointment. I am teaching you how to trust again, slowly and safely. Peace will no longer feel fragile. It will become familiar. And when anxiety tries to return, you will recognize it sooner and release it quicker, because you are learning to lean on me. I promise you that I will remain with you through every change ahead. When things feel steady, I am there. When things shift unexpectedly, I am still there. My presence does not fade when your confidence wavers. My hand does not loosen when you feel unsure. I am faithful in ways you are still discovering, and my commitment to you is not seasonal. I promise you provision, not always in the way you expect, but always in the way you need. You will have what is required for each step, each decision, and each responsibility I place before you. I will not call you forward without sustaining you. Trust grows when you see that I meet you consistently, not occasionally. And finally, I promise you this: what lies ahead is covered by my grace. You do not need to fear the future or replay the past. I am already in tomorrow, preparing peace where you once expected struggle. Hold on to these promises, not loosely, but with confidence. I am with you, I am for you, and I will finish what I began. My child, now that you have heard me, this is where your response matters. Not a response of perfection, not a response of having everything figured out, but a response of willingness. Faith is not proven by how much you understand. It is revealed by how you move when you don't. And right now, I am inviting you to move closer. This is the moment where you stop observing and begin trusting. You have listened long enough to know that I am near. You have felt enough peace stirring to recognize that this is not coincidence. What I ask of you now is simple, but it is powerful. Open your heart without negotiating the outcome. Let go without demanding control. Say yes without requiring every detail to be explained first. You do not need a long prayer. You do not need perfect words. I am not waiting for a performance. I am listening for sincerity. Even a quiet whisper reaches me when it comes from an honest place. Tell me you are tired. Tell me you are unsure. Tell me you want to trust but feel afraid. I already know, but speaking it opens the door for healing to begin. This is where surrender becomes action. Not dramatic, not public, but deeply personal. It looks like releasing the habit of overthinking. It looks like choosing to pause before reacting. It looks like inviting me into decisions you once tried to manage alone. Faith grows when you let me lead in small moments, not just major ones. I am asking you now to place what you've been holding back into my hands. The fear you keep revisiting. The disappointment you never fully processed. The hope you were afraid to feel again. You do not lose yourself by trusting me. You find yourself steadied, strengthened, and guided. Do not wait for another sign. This is it. Do not postpone obedience because it feels uncomfortable. Growth often begins where comfort ends. You are safe with me. I would not call you forward if I did not intend to walk with you through every step. Let this moment mark a quiet decision in your spirit. A decision to return when doubt whispers. A decision to listen when I nudge your heart. A decision to trust my timing even when it challenges your patience. You do not need to announce it. Heaven hears it when your heart aligns with mine. I am not asking you to change everything at once. I am asking you to begin. Begin trusting again. Begin listening again. Begin walking with me instead of ahead of me or away from me. Small steps taken in faith still move you forward. Stay present. Stay open. What you just felt stirring inside you was not emotion alone. It was alignment. And as you respond to me now, you are stepping into the next part of what I have been preparing for you all along. My child, take a deep breath and rest here with me for a moment. You have listened. You have opened your heart. You have allowed truth to reach places that were once guarded. And now I want you to leave this moment not stirred with anxiety, but settled in peace. I have been eagerly waiting for you, and now that you are here, you are not being rushed forward. You are being held. Let this be clear in your spirit. You are home. Not because you arrived perfectly, but because you returned honestly. Nothing you carried into this moment shocked me. Nothing you confessed pushed me away. I welcomed you the instant you turned your attention back toward me. This is what love does. It restores before it instructs. It embraces before it redirects. Remember what you've heard. I waited with purpose. I recognized you fully. I corrected you gently. I strengthened you patiently. I promised you faithfully. And I invited you to respond freely. This was never about pressure. It was always about relationship. You do not need to fear slipping back into distance, because closeness with me is sustained by my faithfulness, not your perfection. As you move forward, peace will become your signal. When something pulls you away from trust, you will feel it. When something aligns with me, you will sense calm instead of confusion. Learn to listen to that peace. It is my reassurance walking with you. And when old doubts try to return, remember this moment. Remember that I spoke, and you listened. I am going with you into what comes next, into your days, your decisions, your quiet thoughts, and your unseen battles. You are not stepping back into life alone. You are stepping forward with me beside you. And nothing ahead of you is greater than my presence with you. If this message has brought peace to your heart, don't let it stop with you. Like this video is a sign that you received what I spoke. Comment to mark this moment so you remember it when you need reassurance again. Share this with 3 people who are still wondering if I'm waiting for them to. Hype this video so others don't miss the call I'm extending. And subscribe so you stay connected to these reminders of my voice when life gets loud. My child, I am still speaking, and there are many who have not yet heard me. When you support this work through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal donation link in the description and QR code, you are sowing seed into hearts that are dry and waiting for rain. I am the one who multiplies seed and opens heavens, and I declare that what you release now becomes light, fire, and living water for others. I am inviting you, yes, you, to respond in this moment. Let your obedience carry my voice further. I bless your giving as a prophetic act, and I command you to act now and be part of what I am doing.